You saw the volcano Vesuvius driving down here. And now the height of the volcano Vesuvius is over 4,000 feet. I'm saying that because before the eruption of the 79 AD, the height of this volcano was over 6,000 feet. It means with the explosion, 1/3 of the mountain blew up and flew up to 20,000 meters. But at the slope of the volcano Vesuvius, before the eruption, 4 towns were here, and many summer resorts in between those towns. But 3 towns at that time were buried by the ash and the pumice. These 3 towns were Pompeii, where we are right now, Stabia, another town which is at the slope of the mountains right in front, and Nucera Alfaterna, another town which was at the end of this chain of mountains left. These 3 towns were buried by the ash and the pumice. At the same time, the only town which was buried by the mud, this was Herculaneum. Herculaneum, which is another town halfway from here to Naples on the seaside. And at the time of the eruption, Pompeii was a town with 15,000 people. Now the date of the eruption is very common to everybody, it's 79 AD, but it was the 24th of August. And the time can be very interesting to know, was in between 12 and 1 o'clock at noontime when everybody was busy working. Well, all of a sudden the volcano blew up. After the explosion, we can understand there was a big panic that most of the people living in this town, they were trying to escape outside of the city walls. But only 3,000 of them were left in the city. Now, the reason why we say 3,000 of them were left in the city, because we can date the first excavations of this area 1592. And in the year 1592, at the time we were under the Spanish domination, and the Spanish people, by accident, they found the Pompeii here. Well, from the 1592 up to today, the 2/3 of this town, they have been excavated. And according to the 2/3, they found 2,000 bodies. Well, with another third, they expect to find another 1,000, and this is the reason why we say 3,000 were the people killed in Pompeii during the eruption. But this town is also very, very old, because already 650 years BC, people were living here. And the first people living here were the Oscans. You know better than me, they have nothing to do with the Etruscans, because the Oscans were people living to the southern part of Italy. After the Oscans, Greeks came here, and after the Greeks, this was 400 years BC, Pompeii was converted, became a Samnitic town, but became Roman almost at the end of the history, and this was in the year 89 BC. Well, in the year 89 BC, Pompeii was colonized Rome by Silla. Now a few more informations about Pompeii, that 95, even more than that, let's say 97% of all what we shall see all along this walking tour is authentic, is original as it was found during the excavations. Only 2–3% has been retouched or rebuilt. Basically everything is original. And all the wood which we shall see all along this walking tour, all the wood has been retested, because we don't have any original wood left here in Pompeii. But by the way, we should know that in Herculaneum, the other town, the town which was buried by the mud, 10% of the town has been excavated, and we have also walking tours in Herculaneum. The thing which can be very interesting to know, that in Herculaneum, people walking around, they can see carbonized wood. It means anything which was wood was carbonized. Bed frames, doors, windows, wooden beams. Now the reason why, because that town was buried by the mud. It means that through the mud there was no penetration of air, and anything which was wood was carbonized. But just because Pompeii, this town here and the other two were buried by the ash and the pumice, through the ash and the pumice there was penetration of air, and anything which was wood was disintegrated. So this is the difference. Now all the walls, they had the plaster on, like the plaster which we can see here. The only difference that indoor, that beautiful decorations, rich decorations I can say, and the outdoor was really very plain, most of the time one color tone, and 95% bright colors. The reason why were bright colors, to get more reflection of the light. This was the idea. And the lava which we see here, I'm pointing out this lava to you now, you see, because all along on the way to the entrance we can see more lava on the left. And this lava, of course, has nothing to do with the eruption of the 79 AD, because at that time, with that explosion, there was no lava coming out from this crater. Only ash and the pumice, Pompeii, and mud, Herculaneum. Well, the reason why I'm pointing out this lava to you, to let you realize that Pompeii, 650 years BC, was built on top of this lava. This lava is the lava of one of the prehistoric eruptions. And also where we are standing right now here, these are the volcanic materials which came down all along those 3 days in year 79 AD. But this is not the original level, because to get the original level we have to go at least 25 feet lower than this. And now walking on the way to the entrance, I can show you something more interesting. But something more, just because in Pompeii it can be really very dangerous walking around here. Pay attention where you walk, because it's uneven everywhere.